Hello, stampers and crafters and my friends. It's so good to have you here today. I just really appreciate your time. I got a little bit of glare. I don't know how to get rid of this glare. No matter what I'm doing right now, I got a glare. So please forgive me for that glare. It's worse if I turn the light off. So my name is Kevon and I'm from Seattle, Washington. I have been a demonstrator for over 20 years. Whoop, whoop. And I'm just here to spend some time with you because 2 weeks ago I threw the dice. And when I threw the dice came out, excuse my cat, came out to monochromatic texture. Congrats, Regals, and layering. Now the Regals really came out to brights, but because when I took a look at them, I said Regals, and I did everything in Regals without realizing that it was supposed to be brights. So please excuse me. My first card is a congrats. My second card was going to be a congrats until I found out last night that I need to make a sympathy card. So I did a right turn and made a sympathy card. So my first card, and the first card that we're going to put together, looks like this. And the texture is just background stamping. And then I did an embossing folder. So that's how I got this background. The colors, they look really interesting, but they are Cajun Craze and the basic beige and then the whisper white. This is Cajun Craze too. And then I have my glitter gems. So what I ended up using on this was the Wild Ferns. Love this. This is absolutely beautiful. And it was really fun to use for the first time. I am going to, on my second card, use this Heartfelt Condolences. I used the Fern. Let's see if you can get a little bit of the... I used the Fern embossing folder. And then I also used the Hip Hip Hooray, It's Your Day from the Irresistible Blooms. So that's what I used for that. My colors are going to be Cajun Craze, Copper Clay, and some more of the basic beige. You know, it's interesting because I didn't realize that this almost looks like river rock. It has that greenish, real light greenish color to it. And when you look, oh God, when you look down here below, you see kind of a real, it's not a seafoam color, but it is a light color. That is almost a green color. I used the sparkle gems and I used the black. I'm using the Baker's Twine Essential Pack, and I'm using the black on it. I got my stamps ready to stamp. And then I am using the online mini pocket envelope. And I'm using this little die as the background. All right, and then I am using my Modern Oval Punch. So that's what the front looks like. All right, so let me get everything out of the way so we can get ourselves started. Put this here so this Cajun Craze, that looks like a red card, will get us started. Now I also did the inside, but I did the second card a little bit different than I did the first. And you can see where that green, kind of a beige color is coming out. So that's what I did on the inside for the hooray part of the card. I did it different. on the second card that I did. So I added a little of the, it's almost like the Cajun Craze and the copper almost look like they're the same. So I'm going to, I changed that up just a little bit. And then again, remember everything that you need will be on my blog at ktstamps.com. And you may have to put a www in front of it. I'm going to just give this a nice crease. Then I'm going to finally do what a friend told me to do, and that is barely put any tape on the back. So when you send your cards to someone, they can just rip off the inside and add their sentiment to it. So that's what I'm going to do right now. Let me see, one other thing that I want to try doing. I'm going to try turning off the lights. Forgot to do that today. And let's see. That looks a little bit better. Okay, I like that. You still can't see except for the shadows of the beige. So I'm going to put that out of the way. We have our white, and I am just going to do some random stamping. All right, my random, and I also have one other. I'm also using the dots from this stamp set. So I will take these off and use the dots. Completely forgot about that. Sorry about that. Have to keep myself organized, otherwise I'm in big trouble. All right. So here we go. We are going to take our Cajun Craze, and with our Fern, we are just going to make some random stamps. And I stamped off on this. And I don't want to stamp off because I think that it looks much better when it is darker. So that is my Cajun Craze. Then I am adding my little swirly thing. And I know that these ferns have a name. I am sorry, I just do not know their name. So please forgive me. And this is what I am doing in the beige. And I'm doing odd numbers. So there's my odd numbers. I did 5 of each. And now I'm going to take my dots, and with my copper clay, I'm just going to add some dots. And this is just background stamping. And I'm just going to add more to this. So there we go. That's our background. And I will bring this up so you get a chance to see what it looks like. All right, so this is the Cajun Craze. In here at the shadows are the basic beige, and then the dots are the copper clay. So that's what that looks like. But we have to add one more thing. So we got to bring in our embossing folder. I put the name on the wrong side. And when we put this here, I use this black line on the bottom to line up my cardstock, no matter what I'm doing. And then, because I am using a 3D embossing folder, I am going to use my #1 base, and this is the die cut base, and then I'm going to use my #4 and put it on top. And then I'm bringing in my Stampin' cut and emboss machine, and my cardstock fell out, so I will reposition this. Okay, and so I have my base, my folder that has my cardstock in it, and then I have my dial on the outside, and as we go through, we're just going to emboss it. And I am doing the embossing side, not the deboss side. So, I don't know if the gray will help at all, but you can see some of the embossed features. And that is, we're almost done with this card. That's a big part of this card. All right, from here, I am going to take my liquid glue and just squirt it on the outside. And again, I like liquid glue because it does not push down the impressions that I get from my embossing machine. And then I'm just going to layer it on top of my basic beige color. And then turn it over, give it a little rub. And then I am going to make sure that I give this a long run on the outside, just a little dot right there. So now what I'm going to do is bring in my silicone pad. And I'm going to wrap my black around it 3 times. And I went about 1/3 of the way up. And I'm just going to work myself down. So I have one. Here's my second one. I want it to be up just a little bit higher. And here's my 3rd time around. There we go. And then I'm going to cut it. And put this back. And it looks pretty even. And I'm just going to apply it on my front of my card. And again, turn it over. It's easier just to do this, to rub it down, than to go through all the ribbon or the twine. I've already put some dimensionals on the back of these. And I'm going to put this on. So it's like right in the middle. And then I'm going to bring my take a pick tool. And I'm doing big ones and one small. And so all I'm doing is really highlighting the saying. And these are the black. And I really like the black. I know it's monochromatic. The neutrals to me are pretty They just support the back or support the colors. And so my big color that I have right now is my Cajun Craze. And we are done with our first card. That's how easy that one was. And I love, 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 love this. I just got the wild ferns right before the old catalog went away. So I thought that this is great. So this is my first cards. I like how they turned out. All right, my second card now is a condolence card. And I knew that I needed one. And this has the Fern embossing folder on the back. And then I used the dies that come on the inside. So this is the die that I used. And then it has these beautiful banner dies that they really support each other. And so I used the middle one of the three. And it fits really well with this. And that's what I used the heartfelt condolences on. And then on the inside of my card, I just put "You are in my thoughts." And I stamped off on this big fern and put it right in the middle. And I think I needed to stamp it off a second time, but I did not do that. So this card was inspired by Joanne, and I think it's Hewins. And I really appreciate her for this card. I think it is absolutely a very clean and simple card, and it really matches what I need the card for. So, things that we need. I ran this through the embossing folder, or excuse me, the, what is it, adhesive sheet. So I had that on the back so I can just peel it off and it sticks. And then, again, this is made of Pretty Peacock. Don't always like that color, but I really like the way that it turned out. This card looks like it is a really nice color to send. So I'm going to use my silicone pad. And because I stamped with Photo Palmer stamps, you want to make sure that you use the piercing mat for that. So then there's a little bit of a give to it. All right, so here we are. Again, gluing this down. You don't need a whole bunch. And find my lid. Put this together. So I have that. Again, turn it over. Give it a nice little rub, like you're giving it a back rub. And then I'm going to open my card. And again, I'm not going to add a whole bunch of let me see, adhesive to the back of this. So if they want to reuse this card, and I'm all about reusing cards. I'm all about you guys casing my cards too. I think that's very important. All right, so here we are. We're just going to peel this off. Please make sure when you are peeling this off that you're very patient, because you just want to go in and rip it. But these little pieces on the side are very, very, very delicate. And you don't want to pull them off. And I used 2 sheets on this because there was a break in this. And I have one more sheet. And one more up here. And my kitty may come and visit us one more time. And I'm going to try to get this as straight as I can. And I'm going to put it right on the bottom. So there we go. That's what the first part looks like. And then I already stamped this. And its ink color is, I'm going to do glue. The ink color is Pretty Peacock. Now, sometimes when you are gluing things to an embossing folder, it does do better when it is in the liquid glue because it seems like it gets into all the little crevices of the embossing folder. So that's why I'm adding glue to this. And I'm just giving this an outline. Give it a little press down. All right, then I'm bringing in my blooming pearls. And these blooming pearls, they are gold. This is garden green. This is some Pretty Peacock, and this is pink. So I'm going to bring in my small Pretty Peacock and just add them right to the side. And then I wanted something up and in so your eye kind of travels up. So I took one of the big ones and I just stuck it up. There. And I have just, it looks like I have a little piece right here that needs a little bit of glue. Again, please make sure that you're careful when you're dealing with this. I have torn these off before. And my cat's coming back up. You can hear her. There you go. Again, you don't need a lot on that. And here is our second card. So it looks like this. I think that it is just such an attractive card. And as you open it, just you are in my thoughts. And I'm excited to get the, well, I'm not excited. I'm glad I have a card that's made that I need to get in the mail ASAP. Okay, so these are my cards today. You can see that if I bring these back out, that the only thing I did was that I took away the congrats. So when you're dealing with throwing the dice, you don't have to do everything that the dice says. If you love the texture, the layering, and the monochromatic, then do it and enjoy what you're doing. This just gives you a chance to have some fun. And that's what stamping is all about, is having some fun. So before we go, we need to get ourselves ready for 2 weeks, and then we have a new card to put together. So right now we are going to be stamping with subtles, clean and simple. It's going to be a congrats card. It's going to be bling, and it's going to have blending. So those will be our cards for next time we do our throw the dice. So again, my name is Kevon. My stamp site is ktstamps.com. My creating cards for you is my motto. It's my mantra. It is what I'm saying all the time because I love it. I love what I do. I love sharing these. And I just would love to have you as part of my family. So take care, friends. Have a great day. Have a great weekend. And I'll see you in a couple of weeks. Thank you. Bye-bye.